hear a telephone conversation between a customer, Gavin Mercer, and a customer service officer, Fiona, inquiring about hiring a private charter boat for a corporate retreat. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10.
Good morning, Island Cruising Charters. Fiona speaking. How may I assist you today?
Good morning, Fiona. My name is Gavin Mercer. I'm calling on behalf of Meridian Software Solutions. We are looking to book a private charter catamaran for our upcoming corporate annual retreat.
Wonderful to hear, Mr. Mercer. I'd be happy to take down your details and help you set up your booking profile. First, could I confirm the spelling of your surname? Is that M-E-R-C-E-R?
Yes, M-E-R-C-E-R.
Perfect. And what is the best direct mobile number to keep on your file?
My personal cell number is 0774288195.
Got it. Now, what specific calendar date are you targeting for the boat rental?
Originally, our committee considered hosting the excursion on September 8th. However, our regional vice president has a press conference in Manchester that week. We then thought about September 29th, but we realized that weather conditions get a bit unpredictable towards the end of the month. So we have settled on Thursday, September 17th.
Let me check our fleet availability calendar for September 17th. Yes, our flagship vessel, the Ocean Osprey, is fully available. What time would you like to set sail? And how many passengers will be joining the excursion?
We'd like to depart from the marina at 10 a.m. and return by 4 p.m. Regarding headcount, when we circulated our internal sign-up sheet, 40 employees expressed interest. But after confirming final RSVPs yesterday, the definitive headcount is exactly 32 passengers.
Understood, 32 passengers. The Ocean Osprey easily accommodates up to 45 guests, so your group will have plenty of space. Now, does your group require onboard catering service, or will you be providing your own lunch?
We definitely want full onboard catering. However, 3 of our senior managers have severe gluten allergies, so certified gluten-free options are essential for both lunch and afternoon snacks.
That will be no problem at all. Our catering crew routinely prepares specialized gluten-free platters upon advance request. Are there any specific onboard recreation facilities you'd like us to prepare?
Yes, our team would love to do some coastal exploring, so we would like to request 6 double kayaks to be lashed to the deck for our afternoon anchorage stop.
Excellent choice. Now, regarding financial costs, the base charter fee for 6 hours on the Ocean Osprey is £1,600 plus £400 for full catering and equipment hire, bringing the standard total to £2,000. However, because you are booking on a weekday, we apply a 15% discount, bringing your final invoice down to £1,700.
That sounds very fair. What is required to confirm the reservation?
To hold the boat, we require an advance booking deposit of £300. The full remaining balance must be cleared 14 days prior to departure, which makes your deposit deadline August 28th.
This brings us to the end of Section 1. You now have some time to review your answers. You will hear a heritage officer, Mr. Alistair Vance, giving an introductory orientation talk to visitors at the Highfield Historic Working Mill and Estate. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Highfield Historic Working Mill and Estate. My name is Alistair Vance, and I am the Senior Heritage Officer here. Today, I will provide an overview of our historical grounds, visitor facilities, and safety guidelines before you begin your self-guided tours. First, let us review our general opening schedules. The estate grounds and surrounding woodland trails are open daily from 9 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. However, please note that the historical mill building itself and the operational water wheel cease operations at 4:30 p.m. every afternoon to allow our engineering staff to conduct routine maintenance and lubrication checks. We offer several live historical demonstrations throughout the day that are fully included in your general admission ticket. The traditional flour milling demonstration takes place inside the main mill building at 11:30 a.m., while our blacksmithing demonstration starts at 2:30 p.m. at the old forge courtyard. For families traveling with young children, we invite you to participate in our Heritage Discovery Trail. Upon entering through the ticket kiosk, children receive an activity booklet. If they collect all 6 stamp impressions hidden around the historical buildings, they can claim a free commemorative wooden bookmark at the estate gift shop before departure. Safety is extremely important during your visit, as this remains a fully functioning 19th century mechanical mill complex. Visitors are required to remain on designated stone pathways and behind protective wooden railings at all times. Please supervise children closely near the mill race and water channel, as currents can be surprisingly swift. Lastly, support from our visitors helps maintain this heritage site. Beyond purchasing tickets, visitors can support our restoration fund through our Adopt a Cogwheel scheme. For a single contribution of £25, donors receive a personalized certificate of sponsorship, a souvenir brass keyring, and a biannual newsletter detailing our ongoing structural restoration projects.
Before moving on, please look at questions 16 to 20.
Now, let me orient you with the key attraction zones across the estate so you can plan your visit efficiently. First, the Granary Storehouse, located immediately adjacent to the main mill entrance. This historic stone building houses our permanent exhibit on 18th century agricultural trade routes, complete with interactive grain sorting displays. Next up is the Mill Pond Bakery, situated at the edge of the lower courtyard. This artisan bakery uses flour ground right here on site to bake fresh organic bread, pastries, and afternoon tea treats for visitors. If you are interested in hands-on crafts, head over to the Weaver's Cottage. Located along the river path, local artisans demonstrate traditional handloom weaving techniques, and visitors can try operating small wooden looms themselves under expert guidance. For nature lovers and bird watchers, the Wetland Bird Sanctuary sits at the northern boundary of the estate. This sheltered wooden viewing hide overlooks the reed beds, allowing quiet observation of native kingfishers and otters. Finally, at the far eastern edge of the property, you will find the Engine Shed. This facility houses our fully restored 1880 steam traction engines and vintage agricultural tractors, with live steam runs hosted every weekend.
That concludes Section 2. You now have some time to go through your answers. You will hear two postgraduate environmental science students, Clara and Tristan, discussing their joint research dissertation on urban heat islands with their academic supervisor, Dr. Evelyn Cross. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 30.
Good afternoon, Clara, Tristan. Please come in and take a seat. Let's review your progress report for your master's dissertation on urban microclimates and surface heat dynamics in the inner city. How is your data collection progressing?
Good afternoon, Dr. Cross. We've finalized our research parameters. Our core objective is analyzing how reflective building materials and green rooftop installations mitigate surface temperature spikes during midsummer heat waves.
That's right. Initially, we plan to focus purely on comparing air temperature measurements collected from standard meteorological stations around the city outskirts. However, during our preliminary review, we realized those rural stations didn't reflect asphalt heat absorption in dense commercial corridors.
That was a wise realization. How did you alter your methodology to gather more accurate, localized data?
We switched to using high-resolution thermal satellite imagery combined with mobile infrared sensors mounted on municipal buses. This allowed us to map exact surface temperature variations street by street.
It gave us incredible spatial detail. But we did encounter a significant hurdle when attempting to model heat dissipation patterns around glass high-rises.
The computational software we were using couldn't handle complex wind turbulence calculations around tall structures, which caused frequent system crashes.
How did you overcome that computational limitation?
Professor Aris, from the Applied Physics Department, gave us access to specialized microclimate modeling software that simulates 3D thermodynamic air currents around complex architectural geometry.
Excellent resourcefulness. And when is your complete preliminary draft due for departmental evaluation?
Our final bound thesis submission isn't until late January, but our full initial draft must be uploaded to the faculty portal by October 19th for peer review.
Now, let's discuss how you intend to divide the remaining analytical and writing responsibilities between yourselves to ensure a balanced workload.
I will take full responsibility for processing the infrared thermal satellite data and generating our GIS spatial mapping graphics. Spatial analytics is my primary strength.
That works out great. In that case, I'll take charge of drafting the literature review chapter, specifically synthesizing recent academic studies on urban canopy shade metrics.
Very logical division. What about evaluating the economic cost-benefit analysis of installing green roofs versus cool reflective pavement?
I'd like to handle the economic evaluation section. I've already obtained cost estimate reports from 3 commercial green roofing contractors.
Perfect. That leaves analyzing the public policy recommendations and municipal zoning regulations. I'll review current city council building guidelines.
Excellent. And finally, who will oversee the master reference bibliography and citation formatting?
Tristan and I decided to compile and check the final bibliography together during a joint editing session to ensure complete adherence to university reference guidelines. You have now reached the end of Section 3. Take a moment to check your answers. You will hear a university lecture on hydrothermal vent ecosystems delivered by Professor Nathaniel Thorne. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Good morning, everyone. In today's oceanography lecture, we will explore one of the most remarkable ecological discoveries of the late 20th century: deep-sea hydrothermal vent ecosystems. First discovered in 1977 near the Galapagos Rift, hydrothermal vents are underwater geysers found along volcanically active ocean ridges, typically at depths exceeding 2,500 meters. In these abyssal zones, surface sunlight is completely absent, water pressure is immensely high, and fluid temperatures spewing from vent chimneys can exceed 400 degrees Celsius. Despite these extreme conditions, hydrothermal fields support lush, dense biological communities with biomass levels rivaling tropical rainforests. This poses a fundamental biological question. How do complex food webs flourish in total darkness without photosynthetic primary production? The answer lies in chemosynthesis. Unlike terrestrial food chains that rely on solar energy converted by photosynthetic plants, hydrothermal ecosystems are driven by specialized chemosynthetic bacteria. These microbes absorb toxic hydrogen sulfide dissolving in superheated mineral fluid and oxidize it to produce cellular energy and organic carbon compounds. Serving as the primary producers, chemosynthetic bacteria form the foundational base of the entire vent food web. Many primary consumers have evolved extraordinary symbiotic relationships with these bacteria. Consider Riftia pachyptila, commonly known as the giant tube worm. Growing up to 2 meters in length, these organisms possess no mouth, gut, or digestive tract. Instead, their body cavity houses an organ called a trophosome, which contains billions of symbiotic bacteria that feed the host worm directly. Higher up the trophic ladder reside specialized secondary consumers, such as vent crabs, zooarcid fish, and predatory octopuses, all adapted to tolerate extreme chemical toxicity and crushing water pressures. In recent years, marine biotechnologists have focused heavily on hydrothermal enzymes, known as extremozymes. Because vent bacteria thrive under extreme thermal and pressure stress, their enzymes remain stable at temperatures that normally denature standard proteins. These heat-tolerant enzymes are now vital in industrial processes, including high-temperature biofuels, production, and DNA amplification in medical forensics. However, these delicate abyssal ecosystems face unprecedented commercial threats from deep-sea mining. Seafloor massive sulfide deposits surrounding extinct vents contain high concentrations of valuable metals, particularly copper, gold, and zinc. Environmental oceanographers warn that commercial seafloor dredging could destroy irreplaceable benthic habitats, disrupt specialized food chains, and release toxic plume clouds into pristine ocean waters before these organisms are fully understood by science.
This marks the end of Section 4. You now have a few moments to review your answers.